Okay, so now we're going to work on day 3. So I went into my stash and I brought out even more of my 6x6 pattern paper pads. I hadn't realized that I had gone through quite a bit of the 6x6 that I had pulled out. There's barely any pages left in any. So I went in to my stash and got some more out, and I love this collection from Simple Stories, and I love this one that says Snow Winter, something about winter and cold, and something about love. And I really loved that. It's about a 3x6 card, and I thought that I could use a 4x6 pattern paper or a 6x6, cut it down to 4x6 and put it as a background. Now that I have a lot of pink paisley 6x6, I'm cutting them down to 3x4. And this is design D. So I'll just have to remember that this is the second page that I've done with design D. And tomorrow, today's December 3rd, I worked all day and now I'm working on a voiceover to put this up on YouTube for you guys. But I don't have time to put the pictures into day 2. So the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to work on putting the pictures into day 2 and day 3, and I'll make that as a video, and then I'm going to start on day 4. And this is what I like about doing my pages like this without any pictures, because I got day 3 done on day 2. Now for the next 3 days, I'm going to work on getting 2 days done per day. So I'm going to try and get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And the reason for that is this weekend I'm working Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if I don't get these pages done ahead of time, I find it a little harder to stay with it. And a project like this, if I fall behind, it's really easy for me to say, oh, I'll get caught up another day, and then it falls on the wayside. But now, because I got day 3 done yesterday, now tomorrow morning I can just print my pictures for day 2 and day 3, and I'll feel like I'm caught up, like I'm at date. Tomorrow's day 4, December 4th, and I'll be doing the pages or the page for that day. And usually what I try to do is in the month of November, I'll start around November 15th, and I'll start like this and start making my days. And by December 1st, I'll have the first 10 days ready. And that's, I find, the best way to get ready for December daily is to actually start in the middle of November or the beginning of November and pre-make your pages so that while you're in the thick of it, while it's December and there's a whole bunch of stuff to do, if you have quite a few pages done, then even if you have to go to work or there's one day that you can't put a page together, you don't feel like you're falling behind. But I am determined to get this project done this year. So for the next 3 days that I have off, I'm going to try and get as many pages ahead of time as possible. So I chose the colors of like a light blue and a pink. And then that card that was from the Simple Stories, it does have pink in there. It has a little bit of blue, and it brings in a little bit of brown. So that my page that's going to face this, instead of, focusing more on the blues and a little bit of pink, I can make my page so that it has a little bit more pink in it. So I try to make the 2 pages that are facing each other, I try to make it so that they coordinate as much as I can. Now, one thing that I struggle with is on a day like today that I work, what kind of pictures can I take when 12 hours of my day was spent at work? I literally left at 5 o'clock this morning and I left work at 5 o'clock. So I was there for a full 12 hours. And, like what kind of pictures can you do? Can you take so that it fills up my day? Well, the first thing I did this morning is I took a snapshot of the weather because we had a storm here today. And it was kind of a funny storm. 1 minute it was snow, the next minute it was freezing rain, and then it was rain again, and it was snow again. So I did that a little bit throughout the day, kind of took snapshots of the weather. Then I took a picture of me in my uniform. It wasn't the greatest picture. I was exhausted, but you know what? I got a picture. I took a picture of, we have this coffee machine at work that I absolutely love the coffee. I can make my own cappuccinos, mochachinos, espresso. Like you can make any kind of coffee that you want, including hot chocolate. So I took a picture of that. And then after work, Mason had a practice and I went to the practice. So I took a picture of that. So I still ended up taking between, 5 and 7 pictures just with little things like that. So maybe it's not things that you do throughout the day, but maybe it's things that you enjoy while you're at work. Even if, your 1 hour lunch is what you enjoy, don't forget to take your favorite spot where you go and hang out while it's your lunch hour. Another thing that we need to remember is that, it doesn't have to be beautiful, exciting photos every day, because we're documenting what our life is like every day of the month of December. There's going to be some monotonous things, some things that's not, super exciting. Things like, doing laundry and vacuuming and doing the dishes. But the fun thing with that is it's documenting things that you're doing in the entire month of December. Now, once I choose the colors of what I'm going to use, as far as my cards, then I go through all my embellishments that I pulled for this specific project. And I say, okay, what is pink? Border stickers. And then I did make quite a bit of my own embellishments a few years back. So I have specific envelopes that has, pink and black and green and blue. So I've been pulling those envelopes quite a bit, and I've been putting them in my embellishment cluster. And again, I took some cardstock. I made a spot for my photos, and I think this is the first year that I've done that. Usually I would just leave a blank spot to put my photo, but this year I decided that I was going to mat all my photos, and I tried to choose at least 2 colors. So in this case I chose baby blue and pink, and once I'm ready to put my pictures on this page, I just need to print them off, put the pictures on, and I do add once in a while, I will add a little title, such as reading or hockey or trim the tree or, picking a tree. But by the time that I sit down and I put my pictures into these pages, I don't find that I have a lot to add to it. I've put enough embellishments that I find that my pages are full, and there's quite a bit of embellishments and they're nice and cute. And I love, like I said, choosing a couple of colors for each page, at least for a 2-page spread. And then when I move on, when I flip the page protector and it's a blank canvas, then I start over and say, okay, I'll look back and say, what colors did I use for those 2 pages, and then the next 2 pages, and then I try to change it up. And I try to use colors that are not necessarily exclusively used for Christmas. So I make sure that my pages are not all green and red, for example. Some of my favorite pages that I put together were colors that you don't normally think that you would use for Christmas. There's quite a few layouts in the past albums that I used, different shades of browns or that maybe pink and red, you know, you think green and red, but pink and red really make a cute layout, or brown and pink. So try to think outside of the box as far as different colors for the foundation of your pages. Another thing that I really like is, you know, I did this page before December 3rd, so I know how many pictures I need to take for December 3rd. So that's it. That's going to complete day 3. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.